Got my main man, Booger McC. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Booger McFarland, Monday Night Football's finest. Boog, what's going on, man? Welcome in.
T-Ball, one of the things that you got to do is try to keep it simple, buddy. Keep it simple when you're in the big chair.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If I was a coward, that's probably a mindset that I would subscribe to. But like the great one said, Boog, you miss all the shots you don't take. So I'll keep going for those bad dad jokes and puns all day long. I'll never be like you and just retreat and avoid. Look, I see you on Monday Night Football, Boog. You're cracking jokes. And this Monday night, y'all had maybe the best Monday night game of all time, one of the best NFL games of all time. That Rams-Chiefs back and forth was insanity on a football field. I'll start here. It's weird in a game where both teams score over 50 points to ask whether or not there was good defense played. But, you had these scores and these sacks. What do you think? Like, how would you judge the defense that was played in that Monday night game?
Well, I think the pass defense was absolutely abysmal. I think the secondaries were the weakness of both teams coming in, and so I'm not surprised that there were a lot of yards and a lot of passing touchdowns. But there were impact plays on defense. I mean, both teams had defensive scores. The Rams had two. Aaron Donald showed you why he's the best defensive player in football. Maybe, one of the best players, one of the top three players of regardless of position. There was so much going on in the game, and I think in the end we're all prisoners of what entertainment is, right? Like football is entertainment, and I think the reason people say this was a great game was because of the entertainment value. When you look at the actual game, was it a great game? I mean, there were like 20 penalties in the game. There were, like 7 turnovers. Like it wasn't a real clean game, but because of the high-level entertainment factor, I think everyone walked away saying, man, this is the greatest game ever, when it really wasn't a well-played game.
Yeah, but it was a sexy game, Boog. I mean, the back and forth, how quickly leads would change, just the raw output of volume of scoring. Like you said, entertainment at its finest. One thing that a lot of people here locally were looking at throughout the game, and it was kind of funny to monitor this real time, is this ongoing Brees versus Mahomes. Who's the MVP favorite? Around the second quarter, it was like, oh my God, Mahomes is overtaking Brees again. Then a few turnovers later, it's like, Mahomes sucks, it's Brees again. Where do you stand in the Mahomes-Brees debate?
Well, I think you got to put Todd Gurley in there also, number one. But if we're just comparing Mahomes and Brees, I think Brees' consistency, his completion percentage, the fact that he doesn't turn the football over, the fact that the Saints are 9-1 right now, and if they're not the best team in the league, they're right there tied with the best. And so I think overall, Brees would probably, from a quarterback standpoint, he would definitely be number one. Patrick Mahomes, Patrick could probably overtake him if he throws for 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if Patrick winds up with, let's say he winds up with 57 touchdowns,
Jesus,
it's going to be hard to lead the guy that set the all-time touchdown record. And if his team is, 14-2, and he's got the all-time touchdown record, how do you not give that guy the?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it yesterday, right? Like, people asked, did he move closer, farther away? Both, because you're right, he got closer to that all-time record, but then the turnovers also kind of hurt him. Now, you mentioned Todd Gurley. Were you surprised that the Rams didn't use him more in that matchup, Boog?
A little bit, but when you understand that Kansas City's strength up front were those two big guys in the middle and then the guys on the edge before Justin Houston, I think Sean McVay really felt comfortable in his matchup with the Chiefs secondary. Orlando Scandrick, he's still trying to figure out where the ball is. Nelson Fuller, so he felt really comfortable with the matchup that he had even without Cooper Kupp. And so it was kind of like one of those games where if you used to watch the old Cowboys play, Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Novacek, Michael Irvin, the Cowboys came out throwing the football through the first 2.5 quarters. And in the last quarter and a half, Emmitt Smith would get about 120 yards, and they would just pound you to death. I kind of felt like that's what the Rams were trying to do. They were going to come out, play fake, and then throw it early and then try to run it late. But guess what? They couldn't run it late because they had to keep going because they got into a shootout.
Boog, Shea Dixon here. I want to go back to Mahomes because he's been all the rage this year, and people seeing him, I guess, really for the first time if they didn't watch him at Texas Tech. But I go back to high school as a quarterback. He didn't turn the ball over at a high clip. In college, he's playing in this air raid offense. The back 2015, 2016, he threw 15 picks in 13 games, 10 picks in 12 games. This year, what is he at? 10 picks in 11 games. He had some fumbles, obviously. Where is the balance here? If you're Andy Reid, and this might be an offseason thing, Boog, but do you scale back a guy like that, or is that the gunslinger mentality? If you want the good Patrick Mahomes, you got to take the bad.
Well, first of all, I don't think there's been much bad, number one. Number two, he threw 3 picks the other night. 2 of them were kind of like in the Hail Marys.
Yeah,
garbage
so
time.
So I don't think you can just look at numbers and say, well, he's got 11 picks. Let's understand the context in which you threw a couple of them. It's 20 seconds left. He's just throwing it up, hoping for a prayer. That's what quarterbacks do, but they got to deal with that. I think that Andy Reid is all in on Patrick Mahomes, meaning he is going to allow the offense to just flourish and open up even more. This is what you're going to see. It's a dynamic offense. I mean, they're 9-2, and I bet a lot of money that they finish 13-3, 14-2. I mean, easy to me, 13-3 at the worst. And so you're going to have a team that's 13-3, and you're going to say, hey, what do we do, with Patrick Mahomes? I don't think you do anything. I think you tell him to keep playing. And I think that's what Andy Reid is going to do. And I think this young guy is going to get better and better. And think about this, man. He's only played 12 games.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at this. He hadn't even played a full season. He's 12 games in to his career. Not only are we talking about him as one of the best quarterbacks, he's getting MVP consideration 12 games in. So I think Andy Reid feels really good about his young quarterback.
Boog, if we'll go to the Rams. If you're a Saints fan, I know the Saints fans were rooting for the Chiefs, right? That would have helped their road.
Yeah, ideally, yeah, for the 1 seed for sure.
What's more threatening if you're a Saints fan? And they've played them, but they'll be clicking on all cylinders again in the playoffs. Is it the offense? Is it Gurley and Goff and McVay and these guys, or is it the trenchmen? Is it these Brockers, Donald, Fowler, the edge rusher,
M'Baku?
Yeah, right. Boog? What do you circle as the Rams' biggest strength when it comes to a team like the Saints?
It's the total package because the Rams have the formula to play and beat the Saints. Here's the formula: you got to be able to score 30. They can do that. You got to have a really, really good pass rush. They got that. And you got to have 2 corners that can play man-to-man, take some chances, and make some big plays. They got that. Now, they didn't show that in New Orleans because Talib wasn't there. I just think Talib changes everything that they do. And it may not be the popular thing to say, but if you give me a healthy Talib and a healthy Peters and the Rams and the Saints play again, I don't care if it's Tiger Stadium, I'm taking the Rams.
In Tiger Stadium.
I knew it, Boog. Triggering the hometown audience. Booger McFarland at ESPN Booger. Boog, have you ever seen anything as funny as 13-year-old Andy Reid at that punt, pass, and kick competition?
It is still the best video I've ever seen. And they don't even need to play the video.
How's he so
A
big?
still shot where he's standing there because there's so many things and nuances of the picture we got to break down. Okay, let's start with the size difference between Andy Reid and number 22. It's astronomical. Now, let's move on to the fact that Andy Reid had to borrow a jersey from the Rams. Okay. Then, thirdly, let's look at the helmet. It looks like his forehead is coming out of the helmet, and it's got the little double bar on it. So when you look at the picture, forget the fact that he looks like he's 6'4" and 13 years old. Look at all the little nuances of the picture that make that picture an all-time classic. It's one of the few pictures that you could just put up and everybody's going to start laughing.
Okay, Boog, last one here, man, as we get you out of here. Saints-Falcons, Thanksgiving, tomorrow night. Saints 13.5-point favorites. What's your read on this game? You think the Saints roll?
Yeah, Saints roll at home. Everybody's going to, be sitting around all day eating oyster dressing and jambalaya and all that. And they're going to go to the dome. And I think the Saints roll big.
There you go. Booger McFarland. Catch him each and every Monday on Monday Night Football. Boog, thanks so much for stopping by, man. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Anytime. Happy Thanksgiving, fellas. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. And T-Bob, try not to commit one of the 7 sins tomorrow, all right?
Gluttony's, I mean, it's already a foregone conclusion. I'm just going to say my prayers afterwards. So ask for forgiveness, not permission, right? Isn't that the creed?
Yeah, that's it. Later, bud.
Later, Boog. Take it easy. Try not to get fat.